really wanted to have an opportunity to share some of my experiences about Dr. Nerenberg. I know last month and on Friday I had an opportunity to share some thoughts about Dr. Nerenberg. I told you that his presentation is going to be a lot different than you would normally get in the military presentation, and he still plans on doing the challenging the soldiers here to see if they could outlift him. Wow. And as you heard earlier, we're just fortunate to have him here today. And he was checking and making sure that he was healthy enough to put on this presentation. He has a slide. He's going to go into it. He's going to show you what he did about 6 weeks ago. Is that about right, Doc? Right. So he's going to show you what he did about 6 weeks ago, and we're going to do that just so we're making sure that the doc is safe and that he's not overstraining himself. I met Dr. Nerenberg by mistake, kind of, by happenstance, because Lieutenant Fraker and I, we were hanging out in Whittier. We were trying to figure out what we wanted to do with ourselves that night, and we wasn't sure whether or not we wanted Spanish food. We went to a Spanish restaurant, and we said, no, we're gonna go down the street. Walked down the street, we sat down, and up comes Dr. Nerenberg on his bike, what kind of bike?
That was either on my Goldwing or the Yamaha.
Right. And he came up rolling on his bike, and I thought I never saw him before, and I was looking at Lieutenant Fraker. I said, look at these guys. They just come park the bike like right next to the table, you know. This is his city, you know. And I didn't realize that he lived in the city and that he frequently visited this hangout that we were at. And he got off the bike. He was with a friend of his. And Lieutenant Fraker saw him. He said, "Hey, Doc, what's going on?" So we had a chance to sit down. And the doc, it was the first time that Dr. Nerenberg had an opportunity to present to me, you know, his concerns about what's going on in the military, and he was wondering how he might be able to help the military and the 137. So we had a conversation that probably about an hour and a half. We were talking about our Army values and how that plays into a lot of the stuff that Dr. Nerenberg is actually presenting. We also talked about our physical training, and it all kind of clicked at that point. And I had an opportunity to share with the doctor some of the stuff that I observed and some of the stuff that I heard when I was deployed. And so the doctor is here today. We've had several conversations since. I've had the privilege to go to his office and actually look at some of his trophies. You know, a 60-year-old man saying, "Hey, I'm the world champ in this weight class." I'm thinking, "Yeah, right." And then he's showing me his rings. I don't know if you had a chance to pull the doctor off to the side. He'll show you his rings. He'll show you, if you want, I'm sure he'll invite you into his office and show you his awards and his trophies. It's absolutely amazing when you walk into his office. He has pictures with dignitaries. He has pictures when he's on TV shows, and it's absolutely amazing. If you have a chance to talk to the doctor, you'll realize that he's very humble. He's even as he mentioned, he's somewhat embarrassed by his title. He hides it in between all the other things that he truly enjoys. Absolutely amazing man. I'm very fortunate that I had the opportunity to meet you, Doc. I wanted to express that in front of my soldiers. I'm glad that you had the opportunity to come down today. Thank you very much.
I want to emphasize that with my accomplishments, which were many, I want to emphasize that my failures far outweigh my accomplishments. What you heard were my success stories. My failures, each one took me to those successes. There's a long list of failures that brought me here. The other thing I want to make sure that I said it before, I want to say it again, that you're wearing the uniform, and in my eyes, that makes you greater men and women, makes you greater human beings than me. You're the heroes. You need to know that's heartfelt. That's how I see it. You may be hard for you to feel that, but I see you as the embodiment of the noble American spirit. Now, we all have different motives for what we do. Certainly, we all have different motives. I'm not saying anybody's totally pure. I'm not. Nobody is. But that nobility is in you. Probably a lot more than you even realize. I have felt it on occasion, not all the time. So to me, you're each greater than me. You're the heroes. You're the ones who have said, I'm willing to step up, put my life on the line to protect my country, protect my family, and to protect my brothers and sisters in arms. You have stood up for that. That makes you the heroes of the country. Whether or not you ever step into combat or not, besides the point. Just that you have stood up. Now, this brings me to the topic, well, what is the goal of a human development? What is it that we seek to become and that you are becoming by what you're doing? And I'm going to tell you what I see as the goal of human development. It's to become people of honor with wisdom. And by a person of honor, a man of honor, a woman of honor, it's this. It's to integrate the masculine part of ourselves with the feminine part of ourselves and noble character. Now, the masculine part of ourselves, every man and woman has a masculine and feminine part. Every woman has a masculine and feminine part. The masculine part, what's the essence of the masculine principle? I'm going to tell you right now. It's to arise to the struggle. Say, I will arise. Every soldier has that masculine principle, man or woman, because you arise to the struggle. Other characteristics include rationality, courage, being strong, being able to also have rationality, masculine love. The feminine principle, also important. To be able to have compassion, nurturance, love, intuition. Certainly, as was talked about earlier by Colonel Mader, there is that strong nurturing quality you have. When you're protecting each other, you're looking out for each other, you're nurturing each other. Somebody's hurt, wounded, upset, you're there for each other. Well, that's nurturing. That's the feminine principle, the compassion you have for each other, the connection. And let's face it, for many of you, the friendships and the connection and the love that you get with each other, it's probably this is probably the highlight of what you're going to have compared to other aspects of life in the civilian world. This is probably, as you'll see as time goes by, you'll look back on this with enormous nostalgia and feelings of that was a special period of my life, right, what you're doing now. And that's a wonderful thing to have. Now, so the idea is to integrate the masculine and feminine principle with noble character. By noble character, we're talking about loyalty. We're talking about humility, service to our family and communities, commitment. So as we integrate that masculine and feminine principle with noble character, then we become men of honor, women of honor. Then, in life, we all suffer. No one escapes suffering. So our gains and our losses, our joys and our suffering, as we integrate that, as we work with that, then we achieve wisdom and we become people of honor with wisdom. And what you're doing in the noble profession that you've entered is a very important step into becoming people of honor with wisdom. The Army Creed and everything you stand for is the highest ideals for becoming men and women of honor. So the whole foundation of what you're doing is that. One thing I want to say about the power thought system. It's just a nice way to talk to yourself. Everybody in this room, you, me, everybody, is having some kind of conversation with yourself, right? This is nothing new. Everybody's talking to themselves. Now, they're all having thoughts, or we might even going over conversations we had with somebody else. We're all doing it. All the power thought system is to make those inner conversations better. I'm just working with what you already do. I'm just trying to show you ways to make that inner conversation more positive so you can overcome any weakness that you have. So all we're doing, we're taking what you already normally do and making it better. You're not learning some whole new thing because you're all talking to yourselves, you're all having thoughts. We're just making the thoughts better, giving you more control, more thought control. That's all we're talking about. That's what this whole technology is. We're now going to see a DVD on the warrior mindset to go more into this so you have a deeper understanding of it, and we'll be going more into the power thoughts. Once again, I'm honored and actually humbled to be here with you. Without you being here, this could never take place. I'm grateful to each of you in the room, grateful to you watching, and grateful to you listening on the CDs. The topic today is the warrior mindset. And in talking about the warrior, we're talking about the literal warrior. It could be a soldier, United States Army, or some other branch of the services. It could be a warrior athlete, or it's just or it could be an attitude in civilian life, a housewife, a doctor, a baker. It's an attitude towards life. And I want to define what the warrior attitude is, and we're going to deal also with it, with the whole subject from the point of view of the soldier as well. Now, the goal of human development, which I'll now clearly define, is to become people of honor with wisdom, to become a man of honor with wisdom, to become a woman of honor with wisdom. This is achieved by integrating the masculine and feminine principles with noble character, and thus become people of honor. Then we integrate our gains and losses, our joys and sorrows, and achieve wisdom. Thus we become men of honor with wisdom, women of honor with wisdom. The masculine and feminine principles reside in each with distinct characteristics. So every man has a masculine and feminine principle. Every woman has a masculine and feminine principle. Example of the feminine principles include intuition, nurturance, and compassion. The essence of the masculine principle is to arise to the struggle. This struggle can be with ourselves, our egos, our fears, or it can be a struggle with an external adversary or with a difficult situation. Arising to the struggle is essential for the warrior. Very few can articulate what truly separates the warrior from others. A concise articulation is the following: a warrior seeks to gain power from hardship. Others are weakened by it. Dr. Nerenberg's mind-body workout system strengthens the warrior spirit, which is an essential part of the whole program, to strengthen the spirit in ourselves, regardless at what level we're working at as warriors. So the essence of the warrior spirit is to seek to gain power from hardship. And I call that the law of tribulation. Everybody can look back over our lives and say, you know, this hardship happened to me, this suffering, this illness, this pain, and I became a better person from it. So what we're doing is taking that phenomenon where we see one door closing, another door opening, and saying we're going to apply it actually while we're in the hardship itself. So we're seeking to gain the power now, to extract the power out of the hardship now. We look at suffering. It could be pain, it could be fear, it could be worries, it could be a wound, a little wound that's been inflicted in battle. What is the natural response to any form of suffering? The instinctive response is the desire to escape, to make that suffering stop. It could happen by avoiding the situation, running, blocking it, or doing whatever it takes to make the suffering stop. This is natural. Well, once the warrior is aware that he's suffering, he or she is suffering, and there is that desire to get away from it, the awareness itself, because we're conditioned as warriors, the warrior spirit, the warrior mindset, is to not run from it. Actually face it. Face it. It's a mindset to face it, to not keep running from it. And the actual facing itself is courage. The facing of that suffering is courage. It could be tremendous pain. It could be a toothache. It could be a shrapnel wound. It could be worrying about a problem, a financial problem, whatever it is, or a feeling of emptiness. Whatever the hardship is, the person says, oh, I'm not going to run from this. And they face the hardship. It could be an external adversary that they feel outmaneuvered, outgunned, outnumbered, the things they want to run to try to avoid a wound or being killed. And they realize that the instinct is there, but the courage saying, no, I'm committed to facing this. And of course, the way to be totally prepared for that is the training as a warrior, and particularly in certain power thoughts. I will face the enemy. I will face the enemy. So the metaphor that I like to use is we face the fire of the inner dragon, pull out its tongue, and devour it. That's the metaphor for dealing with that whole phenomenon of the suffering, the desire to escape the suffering, the facing, and then reaching into the dragon's mouth, pull out the tongue, and devour it. So we're overcoming ourselves. So in overcoming and dealing with an external enemy, an external difficult situation also involves dealing with an internal aspect of ourselves. In doing so, in dealing with ourselves, the ultimate issue is this: empower constructive thought to have dominion over destructive thought, words, feelings, and actions, and we will transcend the suffering of this life and manifest our true masculine principle in the true warrior mindset. So we take a constructive thought such as, I will face the enemy always. I will face the enemy always. I'm an American soldier, for example. Power thoughts of this type, to have dominion over other thoughts, well, gosh, I'm hurt and I've got to pay attention here, I better get help. That, to have dominion over that, now that's a negative thought, that's a distracting thought, it's a reality, but particularly under fire, the concentration has to be on handling business at hand. Now in doing that, I want to demonstrate the power of the mind to deal with what's, in a sense, an unnatural situation, which is to run into the pain, run into what we fear, face it, confront it, and overpower it. And in doing so, I want to demonstrate that the enormous power that we have in the mind to shift its attention away from a wound or hardship or fears to where we want to put the attention. So I'm going to ask you right now to put your attention on a pleasant memory. It could be something you ate this morning that you like, or somebody you saw, some kind of a pleasant memory that you've had. And let's do that now. I know without a doubt that everybody was successful at that. You did it effortlessly, naturally, flawlessly. I know another thing, that you're able to do this, even though prior to my asking you to do that, you weren't thinking about that memory. So you're able to shift your attention at will. And you're able to do two things. You're able to put your attention on something positive, so you chose the polarity of the thought, and you chose the time dimension of your thought. It was the past. So you did that just like that, naturally, effortlessly, flawlessly. This shows the power of the mind to shift the attention where we want, whether it's in a battle, a literal battle with bullets, or a battle over ourselves with our fears and our insecurities, whatever it is, we can shift our attention. We can choose our thoughts. To some extent, we can actually choose our thoughts. Now we'll do it again towards the future. Have a thought towards the future, something you're looking forward to. It could be a meal, it could be somebody looking forward to seeing, it could be an event you're looking forward to. Take a moment to do that. Now I know with myself, as soon as I ask you, right in the middle of asking, thoughts already coming in that of positive anticipations, things that I'm looking forward to. It's that fast. It's that our systems are that responsive to the call for a positive thought, a thought for a projection towards a future event. We all have this power. A child can do it. Any normal human being can do this. We can shift our attention. I know again that you're able to shift your attention to the future, that you were able to choose the polarity, which is a pleasant anticipation, a positive thought. And prior to my asking you to do that, I know that you weren't thinking about this. So again, you're able to choose the time dimension, past, future. Now we can do it towards the present. Let's put our attention now in the present, something we appreciate about this moment, that we can see, that we can hear, that we're in a nation where we have the freedoms that we have. Take a positive thought towards this moment right now to appreciate it right now. Again, I know you're able to enter into the present right here. As a matter of fact, your vision probably is even more acute as you put your attention right into the present now. Tremendous power in doing that. Again, you're able to choose the time dimension in which your thought dwelled, which is the present. You chose the polarity, which was something positive at the moment now. And prior to my asking you to do that, you weren't thinking about that. There's tremendous power, particularly in putting our attention in the present, because in any battle, we might have some thoughts of what we're going to maneuver to, but we need to be present now to really be able to be sensitive to where the enemy is, what's going on. We have to be present beyond our own fears. We have our fears which separate us from perceptions, but then also we want to go beyond that and transcend the fear, so we're watching the terrain that we're in and we're sensitive to the environment and the dangers. Now, we can shift our attention. This is tremendous power that we have. And we can also shift our attention to thoughts. We can choose what I call power thoughts. Now, power thoughts are thoughts that help us keep negative thoughts away and give us a way to overpower negative thoughts when they do arise. And I'm going to go over 12 power thoughts that can be used by a warrior. It could be used by a soldier. These particularly were made for soldiers, but it could be used for anybody in a warrior mindset. It can be used for anyone with a warrior mindset. I thrive on hardship. It makes me stronger. That's the essence of the warrior attitude. I thrive on it. In sports, for instance, strength training, we bring the suffering to us. We get under those weights, we're lifting it. We're putting ourselves in situations of painful situations where we're damaging ourselves. We're breaking the muscle tissue down so they'll grow and get bigger. We're bringing the hardship on. Those who are in the military are bringing the hardship to themselves. They could have stayed in civilian life. The soldier went out and sought out the danger to prove that he's a man of honor, a woman of honor, to protect his family, his comrades, and his nation. I rise to the struggle always. I rise to the struggle always. The essence of the masculine principle is to arise to the struggle. You have the feminine principle, which involves nurturance, compassion, intuition, and so forth. But the essence of the masculine principle is to arise to the struggle, knowing how to fight, courage, being as strong as we can be, rationality. These are other dimensions of the masculine principle. But the key is arising to the struggle. Now, in terms of the soldier, I protect my family and country by being a warrior. I protect my family and country by being a warrior. So that's in the case of the soldier. A man going out or a woman going out to make a livelihood might say, I provide for my family by being a warrior. I provide for my family by being a warrior, going out, making a livelihood, being the hunter. In terms of the soldier, a battle wound is an honorable wound. I am a warrior. A battle wound is an honorable wound. I am a warrior. Now that applies particularly to a soldier, but it could be a businessman, for example. Many times there are mistakes, there are wounds in the battle of business, betrayals, losses, defeats, and a person becomes wiser, more knowledgeable, and just emanates that wisdom and knowledge and thrives and arises back up. Arises up from these losses, the mistakes, the defeats that have happened, say, in the business situation, and then can say, yeah, I made these mistakes. I did that one wrong and that one wrong, and this guy did that to me. And there's almost a smile because the person realized, well, I'm above that now. It was honorable. And certainly in terms of the physical wound of a soldier in combat, it's a badge of courage that there's some shrapnel entered. In addition to the trauma, the tremendous trauma of it, there's also the honorable aspect of the wound. So when the wound, this was very useful for a soldier because in addition to the trauma of the wound, which can be horrific, there's also what we want to have the perception, it's honorable. So it's like, oh my God, this has happened to me, but also, and it's honorable. And so the other soldiers, the brothers and sisters in arms will also look at as honorable what the person has just gone through. I will never accept defeat. I will never accept defeat. In terms of a soldier, say, I'm an American soldier. I will never accept defeat. I'm an American soldier. It will be one for the soldier. I'll never accept defeat. It could be anything. It could be a boxer. It could be a business person. It could be somebody trying to keep their family together. It could be somebody trying to overcome an addiction problem. I will never accept defeat. I will never accept defeat. Now, one particularly for a soldier, my brothers and sisters in arms are heroes, every one. My brothers and sisters in arms are heroes, every one. That would particularly apply to the warrior in a soldier capacity of literally defending our country. My brothers and sisters in arms are heroes, every one. And a variation of this now, I am loyal to my brothers and sisters in arms, always. I am loyal to my brothers and sisters in arms, always. Now, this could be, also you could have it within a certain circle of people. I am loyal to my brothers and sisters in this organization, powerlifting organization, or business, a sacred venture. I'm loyal to my brothers and sisters in this mission. I am loyal to my brothers and sisters in this mission. The mission could be whatever. It could be religious, business, or whatever. Always. No one can stop us ever. We are American soldiers. No one can stop us ever. We are American soldiers. So this again will be one for the soldier, but no one can stop us ever. We are whatever. You know, it could be some religious group. It could be some group with a very powerful mission. It could be a charitable mission. It could be whatever. No one can stop us ever. We are this. Now, we're looking at constructive thoughts as weapons. I'm calling them mental weapons. My constructive thoughts are powerful weapons, always ready. My constructive thoughts are powerful weapons, always ready. And of course, in the mind-body workout system, we're closing our eyes, we're focusing, we're using motion, so the proprioceptive involvement. My constructive thoughts are powerful weapons, always ready. My constructive thoughts are powerful weapons, always ready. My constructive thoughts are powerful weapons, always ready. And I'm moving my arms as I'm saying that, I'm closing my eyes, I'm focusing on the thought. And always ready is like an amplifier. We have 21 factors that make a power thought more powerful to internalize, and amplify being one of them. I gain power from tribulation. My enemies fear me. I gain power from tribulation. My enemies fear me. I gain power from tribulation. My enemies fear me. I gain power from tribulation. My enemies fear me. So the enemies could be in a warfare, the enemy against us in combat, in literal combat. Or it could be enemies in a business sense. It could be enemies in a sports arena. It could be whatever. I gain power from tribulation, and they see that in us, and the enemies fear us. I am totally committed, no holding back. I am totally committed, no holding back. I am totally committed, no holding back. So no holding back is an expansion of I'm totally committed, but it acts as an amplifier. So whether it's in combat, I'm totally committed. You know, I'm not going to hesitate. If I have to fire, I'll fire right then. I'm not going to be hesitant. A comrade in arms is wounded. I'm going to run and do what I can to save that person. There's no holding back. Totally committed. No battle can destroy me. I am the warrior spirit. No battle can destroy me. I am the warrior spirit. No battle can destroy me. I am the warrior spirit. No battle can destroy me. I am the warrior spirit. So again, with the extent that we use the motion, we're trying to internalize. These thoughts need to be repeated every 5 minutes the first day, twice an hour thereafter, with exercise to help internalize it. The whole idea is to take these thoughts and by keep repeating them, to strengthen the warrior spirit within ourselves. These are excellent, 12 excellent thoughts that will strengthen the warrior spirit within ourselves. And that's what we want to do. The warrior spirit's extremely powerful. That was an overview of the thoughts. So what we're going to do now, because time is of the essence, I don't want to keep you here beyond your limits. How are we doing on time? Should we take a break now?